Hi everyone, and welcome to another marvelous video. Are there any X-Men fans in the house? Cause today, we are going to talk about one of the most creepy yet interesting mutants ever to grace the pages of an X-Men comic book. Black Womb. If you are hearing that name for the first time, well, today is your lucky day. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Backstory of Amanda before turning into Black Womb. Black Womb's real name is Amanda Mueller. She made her debut in Gambit issue 13, which came out in 1999. Amanda Mueller was born in the mid to late 1800s. She came from a seemingly affluent family and emerged as one of the initial mutants identified by the geneticist Nathaniel Essex, who changed his name to Dr. Nathan Milbury, who was, in fact, the future Mr. Sinister in disguise. What were Mueller's mutant abilities? Well, she was immortal. However, her body was not resistant to the ravages of aging. Mueller agreed with Essex that she would marry a guy, become pregnant, and then pretend to miscarry so that Essex could abduct and examine the genetic makeup of these mutant children. In return, Mueller would be compensated handsomely. On that note, during the late 1800s in New York, Amanda married a man called Daniel Summers. Their marriage was unconventional because Daniel belonged to a lower social class, considerably below Amanda's privileged status. Throughout her marriage to Daniel, Amanda experienced several pregnancies, yet only one male child survived, due to the widespread publicity that Amanda's several miscarriages had generated by 1891. She was arrested and put on trial for infanticide. Because of the dramatic incident, Amanda was dubbed the Black Womb Killer by the media. Luckily for her, Sinister testified for Amanda by posing as Dr. Nathan Milbury, her obstetrician, finally leading to Amanda's acquittal on all accounts. Daniel divorced Amanda during the trial and fled to an undisclosed place with their lone surviving kid. After being freed, Amanda moved into a home on Fifth Avenue. Soon she was confronted by the X-Man known as Gambit, who had used Dr. Doom's time machine to travel back in time to London in 1891 to find Mr. Sinister. Gambit offered Amanda a bribe to disclose Sinister's whereabouts, which she happily accepted. Amanda Mueller's relationship with Sinister continued far into the following century. Even after she told Gambit about Sinister's hideout, she founded the Black Womb Project, also called the Eugenics Information Center, a government-sponsored genetics program during World War II. Mueller held the positions of chief researcher and expert in mutagenics at this organization. The group's main goal was to investigate and encourage human mutation by using cutting-edge alien technology that they had recently obtained. Notable researchers were part of the Black Womb Project in its Alamogordo, New Mexico site. The first staff members were Dr. Nathan Milbury, Dr. Kurt Marco, and Irene Adler. The research was later joined by Carter Reiking's father, Alexander Reiking, and Charles Xavier's father, Dr. Brian Xavier. It's interesting to note that except for Milbury, it appeared that no other researchers were allowed to meet with Mueller. Mueller showed a total lack of compassion while working on the Black Womb Project. She recruited children for the study from all over the world and had no ethical hesitations about using these newborns for experiments or even ending their lives. In one instance, she even suffocated a mutant child to death. Mueller gave birth to a mutant daughter, Gloria Dane, also known as Fontanelle, around 50 years ago. Like her mother, Fontanelle was a mutant, a telepath to be precise, who could see other people's dreams. When Gloria was 21, Mueller had disappeared and Gloria thought she was dead until she started seeing her in other people's nightmares. Actually, Mueller, who was now more than a century old, had continued to be associated with Mr. Sinister and had gone back to the Black Womb Project. Mueller seemed to change in appearance over this period, going from looking like a gorgeous, robust lady in her prime to looking like a corpse. It's quite possible that Mueller figured out a way to use the mutants she examined at Alamogordo to temporarily reverse or slow down the aging process on her body. Otherwise, she would have looked like a skeleton, which she, anyway, almost does. Legacy of Black Womb. Although they remained close as the principal players in the Black Womb Project, Mueller and Sinister's friendship took a sharp turn once Mueller learned about Sinister's Cronus device. If Sinister died, this machine, which he created, was meant to revive him by implanting his DNA into the body of a mutant. Through Amanda's Black Womb Project, Sinister had tracked down and altered a number of mutant kids to act as delivery systems for him when he died. Then, using a surrogate, the Cronus device could cleanse the subject's body and mind, enabling Sinister to imprint his physical form and awareness on it. But Sinister's DNA had to be connected to the surrogate for the gadget to work. When Amanda discovers this plot, she alters her own DNA so that, should Sinister pass away, she might use the Cronus machine to inherit his ability and rejuvenate her own aging body. Amanda changed the process though, so that she would only receive Sinister's skills and not his mentality. Thank God for that. Even while Amanda was involved in the Black Womb Project until it was finally closed, her formerly cordial working relationship with Sinister became sour during this time. Mueller started to have a deep dislike for Sinister, possibly because he was unable to improve her aging physical state. Several years later, after Mystique killed Mr. Sinister, Amanda saw an opportunity to use the Cronus machine. However, her plans were foiled since one of Sinister's chosen candidates, Charles Xavier, was still alive and eligible for the Cronus machine's resurrection program. As long as Xavier was alive, the Cronus machine could not continue to the next cycle, leaving it worthless to Amanda. You know what that means. That's right. Amanda ordered her operatives to kidnap Xavier so that she could kill him. The Assassin's Guild brings Xavier before Mueller, whereupon Mueller takes a member of the guild's gun and shoots Xavier 3 times. As he lies wounded on the ground, she informs him that she was the first mutant Sinister had ever seen and that the Cronus device was motivated by her longevity. However, when Mueller got older and her skin continued to age, Sinister made the decision to choose 4 children as potential hosts. The 4 children were Charles Xavier, Sebastian Shaw, Kane Marco, and Carter Ryking. Thus, when Xavier died, as Juggernaut is protected by his helmet, Shaw by his father's gadget, and Ryking loses his X gene and dies, the process will begin within her. What a master plan, right? Even though Xavier survived the gunshot, Sinister's DNA had already started to affect him, allowing him to use Xavier's telepathic skills to control Amanda's operative, who guided him to the Cronus device. Now that Sinister was in possession of Xavier's body, he wanted revenge on Mueller for her betrayal. But Sebastian Shaw and Gambit saved her just in time by successfully destroying the Cronus device after Professor X defeated Sinister in their little psychic battle. This sequence of events gave Xavier the upper hand against Sinister, allowing him to drive Sinister out of his body and consciousness finally. Anyway, Amanda fled, utilizing the chaos to her advantage. At the end of issue number 14 of X-Men Legacy, Shaw is shown eating dinner with a strange individual in the last moment, who was initially thought to be a manifestation of Sinister's conscience within Amanda Mueller's body. But this assumption is proven erroneous. Instead, the figure is shown to be a gorgeous female version of Sinister. After her last appearance in 2008, Amanda Mueller is back once again after almost 16 years. This time, she shows up in the new Cable limited series by iconic X-Men writer Fabian Nicieza, who gave birth to the character of Amanda Mueller over 2 decades ago. The second issue of the limited series, which was published a few weeks ago, features Cable and Kid Cable, who is the younger version of Nate, delving deeper into the mystery surrounding Parvenu industry and the bleak future that the Neocracy, a fascist regime, envisioned, which is a world ruled by an energy-based species known as Homo Unitus. Cable has seen numerous realities of this future, one that is catastrophic for everyone on Earth. In the final pages of the issue, the two discover the location of a Parvenu Industries facility, operated by the mutant Jonathan Chambers. Cable and Nate rush to the site, finding Chambers barely alive and being used as a power source. However, their inquiry turns disastrous when Cable is attacked and Nate is captured. Their attacker is none other than Amanda Mueller. Upon showing up, Amanda introduces herself with so many titles that it would have even put Daenerys Targaryen to shame. Okay, maybe not that many, but you get the idea. She states her age of 150 years plus and her real name, then introduces herself as the Black Womb and Mother of Tomorrow. But, more importantly, she adds she will not let Cable and Kid Cable spoil the evolutionary opportunity that awaits. As Cable quips, if she plans to accomplish this feat herself, Amanda soars into the air, revealing her mighty army, which includes Magneto, Cyclops, Apocalypse, Jean Grey, and Kid Cable, presumably all brainwashed. Given that Mueller only appeared on 1 page, her impact was rather significant despite her brief appearance. It will be exciting to see what Mueller and her new team have in store for Cable and us, as the next issue of Cable comes out very soon. Powers and abilities of Black Womb. By now, we know that Amanda Mueller's major claim to fame is her immortality. We also know that she is not immune to the less dangerous aspects of aging, such as wrinkles and mobility. It's uncertain if she'd die of old age, or if her body and spirit would continue to function despite terrible injury. Aside from that, she hasn't demonstrated any other ability. She is exactly how her daughter Fontanelle coined Mr. Sinister's baby-making machine. But now that she has returned after all this time, who knows? Perhaps she has developed some telepathic and telekinetic ability, as she managed to sneak into Kid Cable's mind and recruit him to her team. I guess we will find out soon as the series progresses. Fun fact. Here's a fun fact for you. Amanda Mueller's husband is Daniel Summers, who happens to be the great-great-grandfather of Cyclops, Havoc, and Vulcan, making her their great-great-grandmother. Bet you didn't know that. You're welcome. Marvelous verdict. That brings us to the end of this video. All in all, I think Amanda Mueller is a good character. Her story has many interesting twists and turns that make her quite appealing to readers. Yes, she undoubtedly adds a lot of vividness and complexity to the emerging X-Men and Marvel lore. Sinister to sinister, the Black Womb has always been fascinated by evolution and immortality. Now that the Neocracy exists, she has the opportunity to live forever. That is, if she can overcome Cable and Kid Cable. Who's excited for issue 3? I know I am. Before you go, tell us what you you liked about Amanda Mueller's story in the comments below. If you liked this video, remember to hit the like button and don't forget to share this video with all your friends. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.